All right, welcome everyone. This is the mock interview series for GRC Analyst and Security Analyst. Okay, I'm Rajneesh Gupta, and with me I have Jamin Pathak. He will be asking me questions around GRC, and I'll be answering him as a candidate. Okay, so before we go ahead, make sure you subscribe the channel. We are doing very hard to come up with all new content. If you are an existing subscriber, make sure you press the bell icon so that you get notified immediately. All right. So let's get started. Hi, how are you, Jamin?
I'm good, Rajnish. How are you?
Good, good, good. Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, so let's get started.
Sure.
My first question, Rajnish, is what is information security governance?
Well, information security governance or security governance is basically ensures that the organization has all the appropriate or correct information structure, leadership, and guidance, policies, procedures. So it's basically a process of maintaining the framework, security frameworks, security policies, and everything around it. Okay, so it's basically you can understand it as a part of corporate governance, where governance is all about making a decision. So corporate governance, just like corporate governance, security governance is all about making security decisions right. Okay. So this is where we describe how a company managed its security, information security needs, different principle and goals, such as protecting the confidentiality of the data, preserving the integrity of the data of the network, or of the client data, customer information, or sensitive information, or making sure the data is available all the time for all the authorized users, proactively identifying the risk and proposing any mitigation steps if required, performing the risk assessment, having a proper risk management framework, implementing the risk based controls in the network, or maybe it's about implementing the best practices for threat mitigation or threat management strategies. So this is all comes under the security governance. And of course, for example, let's say in the context of ISO 27001 framework, security governance ensures that the organization actually established the ISMS, which is Information Security Management System, to identify or to assess, audit, or manage um, organization risk, in a systematic order. So that's what the information security governance talks about. Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Can you share me some example about security governance?
Yeah, of course. So you can see, let's consider the scenario, because I worked in the healthcare organization. And in the scenario, like healthcare organization maybe implementing security governance that should be aligned with the HIPAA compliance. Okay, HIPAA is the compliance that's applicable for all the healthcare organization, maybe hospital, medical organization involved in medical devices, medical practices. They all have to be compliant with the HIPAA compliance. Okay, and this is only applicable to the organization doing business in United States. So as a part of their governance framework, they have to conduct maybe regular risk assessment. They implement the controls to protect the patient information, PHI information. Okay, let's say one day they discover potential data breaches due to any misconfigured database servers that expose the patient records in the dark web, or maybe on the maybe on online, or maybe on some of the freely available feeds. Okay, so in that situation, governance framework will be helpful, because that way you establish an incident response procedure that includes how to respond those situations, how to swiftly detect or contaminate the breach, and notify all the affected individual as required by the HIPAA compliance. and maybe talking to the legal team, management, CISO, everyone, and outside third party as well, and remediating the and then actually remediating the underlying vulnerability, database vulnerability. Okay, so this is all this is all about being compliant with the HIPAA framework, HIPAA compliance, I would say. It's not just only help for the HIPAA, but helpful helpful in mitigating the incident effectively, but also demonstrate their it also demonstrate to everyone that the organization is very much committed in protecting sensitive customer or patient information in case of hospital or healthcare. So yeah, this is one of the examples.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Then in the security governance, what is the role of GRC analyst?
Sure, absolutely. So GRC analysts, they play a very important role in the security governance. They ensures that there's an alignment between these every security initiatives and the organization objective. Okay, so every security initiatives that has been decided by the management, senior management, should be aligned with the organization objective, maybe risk management, compliance requirement. Let's say, for example, of maybe I even work with the one of the financial institution, the investment banker. So let's say they have to implement the NIST, NIST CSF framework to enhance their cybersecurity posture. So GRC team or GRC analysts can collaborate with the IT professional, the IT security team, the security analyst or SOC analyst or security architect, everyone in the team, to assess the organization security posture by using different tools. So there's CSPM tool. There are tools like email security tools, cloud security posture assessment tool, to identify a gap against the cybersecurity framework core function. This core function is delivered by the NIST itself. That includes the identify, protect, detect, respond, recover. So these are the 5 phases, and this is even applicable to our last question where I talked about the HIPAA compliance. So this same framework can be used, which is by NIST, and then based on that vulnerability or based on those weaknesses in the system, then we can prioritize the remediation efforts. So they also, GRC analysts can also work in the implementation of controls. They can coordinate with the security engineer, security architect team, security analyst team to implement those controls, to monitor the compliance with the framework, and then can provide the regular reports to the senior management about what's the progress has been going on, or maybe to the stakeholders on the organization cybersecurity maturity as well. So because of their effort, the GRC, through this entire effort, the GRC also helps in the helps the entire organization in establishing a strong security governance framework that is aligned with the best practices, or I'd say the industry best practices, and the regulatory requirement like NIST CSF, or maybe SOX compliance, or maybe PCI DSS compliance, or HIPAA compliance. So yeah, that's what their involvement is. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So yeah, Rajneesh, this is all I have. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. So now it's time for some quick detail overview. Okay, so let me share my screen and let me show you some important content here. So as you can see, there are multiple frameworks available for information security governance. One of the important one is by NIST itself, which is called a cybersecurity framework. You can see in this framework, I'll give you the link, don't worry. This is called cyber framework. Okay, and this consists of 5 elements that starts with the identify, then protect, then detect, respond, and recover. Okay, so that become very, very important, and this is new to framework. That's the one content which will be really helpful for you if you go and gain some more information about it. You can even download the file as well. So in this file, you can see it mentioned everything about this framework. How could you implement in the network? How to use this framework basics, and everything. So you can also understand how to use this. But step one would be to prioritize and scope. Or step two is to orient, create the current profile, conduct the risk assessment, create the target profile, determine and analyze and prioritize the gap, implement the action plan, everything. I would also suggest you to take a look at this article by IT Governance, which is very leading organization in sharing content related to IT governance. There's a brief idea about NIST cybersecurity framework, core function, categories, subcategories, and some references as well. This is again the same module, but this has been taken from this document itself. So either you can refer the original document, or if you have less time, you can just take a look at this blog article by IT Governance. Okay. All right. So I hope this was clear for you. This is me, Rajneesh Gupta, with Jevin Pathak. Bye for now.